Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to your magical moon message. This is the Peace Stealer. I'm having recording issues with my phone. Really, I'm having phone screen issues, so I'm going to just use this computer real quick. But I wanted to include the chart if I am going to be using my screen share, walk you through these transits for Moon in Scorpio. As you can see, the moon is 5 houses to the sun. This is a Leo sun moon signature. So post integration, okay, or post activation, this is the second part of the integration phase. The activation cycle of the lunar moon, or the activation part of the lunar cycle, had 3 parts from Cancer, Leo, Virgo. The integration part of the cycle has 3 parts: quarter square in Libra, opening trine in Scorpio, and then of course the ascended integration with the moon in Sag. Moon in Sag is when you're going to be receptive to the vision and you will be seeing the powers you've activated. This now needs to be integrated and aligned so that not only can you be receptive to how it looks, but with this vision, you know more how to temper this, which means the Scorpio transit is very key to breaking through, because this is going to be the pure, full expression of the depth of not only how you feel about yourself, but how you are receptive to this pure social dynamic of how much more to creatively express this through. The purpose of 5th house transits like this is to take a skill that you developed, in this case in Virgo, and to fully express it. We experienced this with Gemini season. That was when I made Foolish Babble 3, for example. That was an example of me taking rhymes I had and fully expressing that out, creating a banger. If you haven't heard that, please check that out. But you may find that you're now taking this to the next level. The moon in Scorpio is making you receptive to the pure energy expression of the psychic power that will take the cardinal function of feeling here in Cancer and have you feel into how much deeper you could take the force of these emotions and feel them extremely intensely. Okay. The extremeness doesn't have to be as extreme, but it will be intense as you see the moon slowly but surely closing in on the south node that will continue to prepare for the Scorpio eclipse by, as we do every once a month, unlocking soul wisdom, moon, soul, wisdom, Scorpio with the south node to manifest accordingly to the north node. 11th house from Cancer, which is actually going to simulate manifesting a lot of rewards, a lot of wishes, a lot of maybe what many of you have been wanting to bring into fruition. And thankfully, the tangible quality of this will manifest this in the form of the right influences that belong with you, the right worth, the right value. Beautiful thing about a transit like this is it nips in the bud skepticism from influences that don't really have the authority to really debunk what you're saying, because they can't. Let me use astrology, for example. Someone can be looking at these transits and scoffing at how stupid it is. But if you were to ask them, what's a trine? What's a sextile? What does Neptune and Pisces mean? Duh. So, stupidity like this just runs rampant even outside of this. But because of the materialization and influence of the earth counterbalancing the moon on the south node, this is going to make tangible a lot of, with the opposition to Uranus, controversial beliefs, controversial attitudes, controversial findings that kind of force you to really come to terms that a lot that was not accepted, if you think of psychology, actually has more basis in reality than a lot of the bullshit that you're told is real, like most of postmodern science, biology, physics, chemistry, and all that other fake shit. Okay. Meanwhile, in this revolutionary understanding of how quantum mechanic findings, and really what I want to say, the knowledge of soul and spirit, to which most of fake science doesn't acknowledge. The reason why most postmodern science is fake is they don't acknowledge a spirit or soul. So even though the analysis on what happens in the material is somewhat conclusive, even though most of it is not. You don't acknowledge spirit or soul. So like the interpretation of it is off. And that's why, you know, you have a lot of this confusion. Welcome to the revolution of the individual, where this moon in Scorpio is going to have you, if you think water is very, you know, non-tangible, you can drink water, but what it represents, the soul, the emotions. This is why Pisces is misunderstood. Scorpio don't like y'all, and Cancer retreats into its shell. They're not trying to make sense of feelings that only they tap into super strong. Well, it doesn't matter if you're a water sign or not. You're going to gain considerable insight, especially considering that the sun and the moon are going to be trining Neptune. And so this is going to complete a very mind-blowing, unconventional nature of intuitive insight that is left vague and abstract because we're not talking about anything specific. We're talking about connections to a realm of imagination that can be anything. This connection to Neptune tunes you in to a realm outside of time, and so you will feel things as they're meant to be before they even happen. That's why it's confusing. That's why the square with Venus and Neptune is going to have you connect with synchronicities and signs about people that in real life it doesn't look like it's even meant to move forward that way. You're not being revealed this so you attach to that person and be like, that person's my soulmate. There's a message there. Take it, move on. Just like when you drive and you see a sign. Know that with the faith of what you've seen, these things will be cleared up as they go through, not for you to be stuck on what you're seeing and not moving forward. Okay. Because trust me, the closer the moon gets to, especially on the 9th, the closer the moon gets to Neptune, the much more powerful these intuitive synchronicities will be and revelations. This actually has the potential to be one of the most psychically insightful days ever. Okay. And don't try and make sense of it, because a lot of this is non-linear. It's not meant to be made logical sense of. It's meant to be felt. What are you feeling when you're aware of this? Follow that feeling despite what it looks like. Don't attach to an outcome, but follow that feeling. Because once again, the opposition of the moon to Uranus is going to transform how much more receptive you are to metaphysical abilities to sense these phenomena physically. I know there's no such thing as phenomena, but the transit like this is going to intensify how deeply you can express your emotion and psychic power, so that you're able to also manifest a unique sense of how your body senses these things. I wish I can put this better into words, because Mars' proximity to this is going to have you ground more physical action towards utilizing abilities and skills you've always been doing, but probably are just now noticing the causality of you feeling this and this happening, you doing this and this happening. These are things that may have taken you your whole life, whereas others of you are experts and you've been known this. Everyone's different, of course. If you would like more specific understanding, get a reading with me. We could talk. Okay. I still have my half off sale, Holy, Holy. If you book a reading, I recommend getting a recorded report. I don't even have to be there with you. I could just record it and email it after. Regardless, this is where we're going to start to see a turning point in this Cancer season as we conclude the season coming into Moon and Sag, because all of this deep occult insight, hidden insight, as Scorpio does correlate to the occult, hence its mystery, is all going to be brought to light in Sagittarius. You're going to understand the ascended behavioral element of how to integrate all this power you've activated into a legitimate technique that will change your life. Okay. So you're fully expressing the talent of what you could do. Now you're going to take that full talent and figure out how to change your life with it, how to apply new powers to literally bring your lifestyle to the next level. It's going to be very fun. And you want to have as much fun as you can with this transit. People are salty. People are negative. They're going to try and project their negativity on you. Tell them to suck your dick and move on. You don't have to really waste your time with people who are not willing to be clear about what they're trying to do. This is just ways dark forces are using people to bring you down. And the reason why you want to, I'm not going to say just be happy. You want to be focused because you are in the process with this moon in Scorpio of fully expressing the talents that you're activating, which requires an open heart. It requires the full on depth of creativity. All right. It's not about being positive or negative. If you want to be negative through this, you can, but make sure you really fully express your heart here, because that's what's going to determine how well you can integrate with the moon in Sag, what you're integrating. On top of that, we are going to see, of course, the sextile of Pluto and the moon. And this will give you insight of what to expect, a sneak peek of the full moon. Everything that you're fully expressing after you integrate, the harvest is you're going to be using supernatural powers. Like, that's the craziest thing, because then we go into Leo season. It's the talent show. Now we're in a social Leo. You have to show what powers did you awake. Whether that power is an ability to perform so well, it doesn't have to be anything unconventional. This power could be you run a faster mile. You know what I mean? Or it could be you broken through into telekinesis. Like, we have new gens over here who are born after 95 with Uranus and Neptune in Aquarius. So like literally anything is possible. You even have Neptune in Pisces, which is like literally the spokesperson for that. Jupiter is going to get ready to go direct retrograde as it stations at 8 degrees. You don't want to be perturbed off of judgment with the Saturn square to Scorpio. Because what people are judging, they don't really know. They're judging from the outside looking in. And so you can exploit any false sense of hubris by playing dumb and letting people kind of look stupid later, especially when the moon is on Saturn and this knowledge you understand and come out through. So, you know, it does kind of pay a bit to be a bit mischievous. You don't want to play your hand. Scorpio's kind of wise like that, but you're coming into the wisdom of the sincerity of your power. And as much as that really kind of challenges you to unlock even deeper aspects of how intensely you can feel this, just be willing to pay attention to what Neptune reveals you. Neptune may reveal you dynamics that don't look possible now, but will be shortly. All right. So don't attach to it, but just know that there is change, especially the more that Venus is going to square Neptune. Things are not as they seem. Okay. Regardless, I hope you enjoy this transit, and until next time.